How long does it take to set up a pipeline between cloud platforms? How much technical know-how do I need in order to set this up? In this video, we are working with Snowflake and Alteryx Analytics Cloud to build a data pipeline that supports the modern business need. You'll be surprised at how approachable a solution like this is with a core understanding of the two platforms. I'm Trace Marks. Welcome to Sky Punch, a series where we attack cloud solutions in the modern analytics stack. All right, so it is 10 o'clock on a Friday and the family is asleep. So we're on Alteryx Cloud. Where would we be in the Analytics Cloud? I was just kind of poking around there, and I'm going to minimize this real quick. One of the things I noticed, there we go, that's good size, is this create a data connection. So just immediately, I was like, let's see how easy this is. Let's see how easy it is to make a connection here. So I spun up a Snowflake instance. Let's pop that on the screen real quick. Edge, got it. Yeah, Snowflake instance, and then there's a bunch of data already in here. So we're going to try to connect to this. It has 50 million records, so I think that'd be a pretty good indication of speed. See how long it takes to, let's say, bring it over. There's some location insight stuff that I might want to try. I don't know if we're ready to do that tonight, but we're going to pull it over, do some really simple things, and see how that works. When I was playing around with Designer Cloud the other day, I was curious about how big data sets worked for some of the auto population stuff. So we're going to see hopefully some of that in action. So let's see how easy it is to just make this connection, and then we're going to see how this night goes. Alrighty, so this is Snowflake instance. Here's Cloud. All right, create a data connection. So let's connect to this. Again, I think this is a shared instance, so I'm curious how these connections are gonna work. Let's see here. All right, cool. I like how many there are here. Oh, early preview. A lot of these are early preview, but the whole thing is kind of early preview for me. Snowflake. Let's see. Snowflake. Salesforce import only. Okay, interesting. So import only versus export. Yeah, which really makes this like a potentially like an extraction layer. So if I don't have to push back to Salesforce, you can essentially use Designer Cloud as an ETL migration tool for let's say you have a bunch of data in Salesforce and you have a Snowflake instance and you're I just need some light, well, I say light, but something that's easier that I don't have to bring IT in necessarily in to get a data pipeline going. I say that more specifically maybe for smaller organizations who smaller organizations that don't just either don't have the infrastructure for it or need to move a little faster. Something like this might be really good. So just some thoughts there. Where's Snowflake? Did I miss it? Snowflake. Here we go. Import and publish. Okay, so connection. Let's see. We're going to call this Trace and Snowflake. Connection to the Snowflake instance I have for training. Let's call that. So this whole process ends up taking me 35 minutes, and I don't think anybody wants to see all the specifics there, although I offer brilliant insight. So I'm leaving some notes here on some of the things we found. So the first thing, when it asks for an account name, it's actually looking for the account name - location indicator, which I didn't think was obvious from the instructions on this page. So mine looks like this. I'll put it right up here on the screen. And that's what I did to make this connection. I also created, on the Snowflake side, I created a warehouse specifically for this, a warehouse schema, tables, all that stuff specifically for this process. Now the warehouse, I'd say that's probably best practice. That way we can sort of monitor warehouse usage for specific processes for things like this. We talked about what stages are for, because one of the questions on there was like, what stage are we using? You don't have to use them, but if you have internal Snowflake stages, you could designate them there. And just to know what stages are, Snowflake uses this like storage layer before it actually puts it into a table, or stores it for querying. It's just a storage layer, or like it's really good for things like flat files. So let's say you have some CSV or text file that comes in, you just have to define what's being stored there and how it's going to read it. And so you can do everything either on the Snowflake instance, or let's say you put an S3 or something like that. And it just helps define that for your pipeline. And then we did after that was we created a network policy to whitelist the IPs. That's something that Alteryx said that we would probably need to get done. So we did that. And actually, while I was doing that, I was doing some work in Designer Cloud. And I'm going to stop here so we can look at some cool things that happen. Let's do a new workflow. And let's grab this and then... and then text input, and then let's call these. Okay, so this is new. Oh, so now it actually kind of looks like Excel. I guess I assume this. Actually, that's again new cool stuff. I work with people all the time that are telling me column names in Excel with the letters, so that's super helpful. Man. We really did a good job. Let's see. Paste. Okay, or Control V. Well, goodness. Why is this not pasting in here? Oh, allow. Okay, cool. What was the format for this? Boxes. Let me just stick it in. Let's see. I'm just going to read through this documentation here. Usage notes. Let's see. Access control. Security admin role. I do have that, or higher. If you're familiar with the roles, and this is one of them, I would say, more frustrating. Not necessarily this role, but like if you're not careful, roles can get real out of hand in Snowflake. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this just has them in allowed IP list. Boom. I assume there'd be oh perfect. I'm glad they have this. Okay, comma. All right, boom. This is exactly how I need to write this. All right. So let's just put them in single quotes here. Let's go. Yeah, and then a formula, and then it's I still love that. Plus IPs, plus, and that's just going to give us this. Can I just copy this? Copy. Oh, I like that it doesn't tell me it's just select copy with headers. It didn't ask for selected cells or the whole row. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So whenever you're doing this in Designer Desktop, it asks you like 4 or 5 different questions. I wonder if the cell. We're gonna look at the cell. Okay, we're gonna look at this cell viewer. Oh, cool. This is great. So is that how this? So it works kind of the same way. It gives you suggestions. Dang, I didn't even see this the other day. This was something I really liked out of Trifacta, was the ability to, like, it gave you suggestions on next things to do, which I don't know if this is Aiden, or if it's being branded as Aiden. But this is cool. I don't know if, I don't want to say it like, I don't want to sound smug about it, but I don't know if someone with like the amount of time in Alteryx that I have is going to find a ton of use out of this. But again, the topic last week was like new users. So, or not, when we did it, it was, hey, how would I put new users in this? Heck yeah, I would. This is, again, further amplifying that message of the new user. So that's cool. I like that. And I do like this copy here. And again, so I don't have to run it. I was worried that I was going to have to run it to get these results and copy them, but I can just copy them. So let's let's actually, let's do this too. Just for the heck of it, we're gonna add a comma afterwards. Yeah, is there a select all? Oh, there is a select all. Copy. All right. Oh, nope. I don't copied one row. How do I do the? Okay. Right. That's good to know that this doesn't copy the whole. Copy with headers. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just playing around with this here. Okay, so you actually have to physically select all that you want to copy, and that copied. It's in one row. Well, let's take a look at that. I don't want to say it. I don't want to be doing this wrong, but I'm curious. Oh, okay, so it's in one row, but it copied everything. All right, well, we'll leave that as is for now. Get rid of this. So just as a note, I was wrong about that, what the copying function, but it was still noting that it was only copying one record. So I think if you if you click down on it and you select all and you copy, that should probably still work. I had mentioned it not working, but that was just because of the message. So I think I'm wrong on that. But again, I like the new functionality, or I just like that it looks easier to copy. So the other thing, connection string options. So I did add connect string options, which is one of the things that it asked for. So specifically around a schema and a role, what specific role I was connecting with. I connected with account admin, which is not best practice at all. But the other thing we did mention was how roles can get kind of unwieldy in Snowflake if you're not careful. So just if you have roles specifically for pipelines like this, I would leverage those. Maybe not create one for every pipeline. Maybe create one for every pipeline. I don't know. That's up to you guys. And then just to note, I did this as a basic authentication. This isn't, we're not doing like OAuth 2.0, which I think is the other option. This is literally just my password that I'm passing through. So if that's not something you're down for, it does have the OAuth 2.0 option. And then this is where I get unstuck from something that kept me stuck for like 20 to 30 minutes. So we're just going to get going. Check the casing of the name in the objects you're referring to. That's fair. I don't know if I said this earlier, but Snowflake is finicky. I know I wanted to say it. Snowflake is finicky with like the names of stuff. All right. Yes, we're in database. Okay, so even though in Snowflake this is called, I created it with the lowercase. All right. Sure, for now that's fine, because I'm not gonna remember it apparently. All right, let's see. Snowflake instance I have for training. Boom. Okay, I have a connection. Okay. 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 Browse data. There shouldn't be anything in there. Create data set with SQL. There's nothing in there. Okay. Oh, right. But okay, cool. So this is over here. Now this looks like Trifecta. I remember seeing this stuff on Trifecta. Let's put something in there. Again, this is where we're gonna break some EULAs. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't read it. Let's see. Let's stick with an AAC underscore. What does it say? Addresses. And then unexpected syntax. Oh, I need to give it a structure. Select into table create. To create table. This is what let's see here. Create table as select. Yep. Let's see. Create table. Create. Select. Okay, cool. Or also referred to as CTAS. I'm going to start calling it that. People are like, you're insane. I'm like, yes, I know. CTAS. Imagine just using that like in conversation. Oh, I was doing a CTAS the other day. Oh, do you mean create table as select? Yeah, of course. What else would that mean? As long as I find myself funny, that's what's important. Okay, so let's do that with rows, with masking policy, gross. Okay, create or replace table name. Do I still have to, does this mean as select? I don't think I have to define it. I hope I don't have to define it. Let's see here. As select top 1,000,000 star from Snowflake sample data. Oh, what was that? Snowflake sample data dot, I think it's this one, dot customer address. Yeah, man, I hope, what if this works? All right, cool. All right, we only need 1,000,000 records for this. Let's take a look in here. Let's look in here. Let's look in here. Boom. AAC addresses. All right, cool. So we've got a table. It's got 1,000,000 rows. That's awesome. All right, let's come back here. Now, let's refresh this. Hot dog. There's a table. All right. Let's see here. What does this do? This gives us like just an insight. I wonder how many. Okay, cool. Yeah. Boom. 13 columns, 1,000,000 rows. Done. All right. So let's hit create data. Well, what did I just do? I need to ask somebody what I did there. Create a data set. I wonder if that means this is going to launch for me in Designer Cloud. You know what? Let's just check Designer Cloud. This one right here. Let's input data. Data sets. Oh, it's going to create. Oh, I hope it creates a data. Okay, we'll see. But in the meantime, if I'm just connecting to data, that launches this. Oh, so I have to go here. The way this reads. Okay, I'm about to say some things that may not be true, but just the way my head's going through this process, this is what I think I see. I have to create data sets ahead of time. So any queries would have to exist as this like import or this data set. And so I connect straight to a data set rather than straight to like writing my own query and just dropping it in an input tool. Let's check that out. Connected data. So I've got this. This is from last time. All right, hold on. Let's see. This is completed? Okay, so this has completed. Okay, preview not available. Test data set. Boom. AAC addresses. All right. So I would have done that maybe. Okay. So this is just going to a table. Let's just talk about this for a second. And again, these are going to be questions I have. But as we create a data set, if I create a data set, okay, well, all right, hold on, let's go back. Data sets, connect to data. No, I already did that. Maybe this needs to refresh. Let's refresh this. How do I? All right, we're going to go through this owned by me, shared import data. Nope, trace and Snowflake. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, I got to figure out what I did. Okay, create data set with SQL. Oh, Okay. All right. So this rabbit hole I was going down just a second ago was if I could only create data sets from tables, which was what I did here with the AAC addresses, that was going to be incredibly frustrating. But this allows me to validate or to write SQL and just drop it in there. Curious, I have a lot of questions now. So, how do we manage with like variables in SQL code? So like the dynamic input allows us to push in, like, let's say I get a list of, I don't know, sales IDs or something like that, or order numbers. That's sales IDs, order numbers, right? And I want to run that against my database. How would I do that here without running like a full query? I guess I'm curious on how I'm going to be curious. No. Okay. So when we create these data sets, it just pulls the data set. There would be no like function on the database. So like if I had a Snowflake data set where I created a table and then I wanted to compare it to a list, a CSV that I uploaded, it brings everything in here, and then any joins so I'd have to bring the whole table over. That's the way I see this. Again, caveats here. I'm discovering with you guys. So I need, I'm trying to figure that out. Anyway, okay, we're going to have to figure all this out. But in the meantime, we can query with SQL, so that's nice. Where did my data set go? Like, I swear it said over here that I had a data set. Yeah, okay. So continue. Oh, did I not finish it? Oh. All right, so I didn't hit okay. And it's here already. Okay, so you have to make sure you click the continue button, but it's in here. So let's click on this. No metadata produced. All right. Okay, we're getting rid of this. This is going to spin. So now, moment of truth. How does it work with 1 million records? 30. Okay, so as probably expected, it just does a sample set. I wonder if it does the same thing on like a CSV. If I have a 1 million record CSV, not important right now. Does it? Okay, so I talked about stages earlier in Snowflake. Does Alteryx Cloud it probably has to work like in a similar staging thing. So there has to be some storage layer. I'm sure we'll figure that out. But there has to be some storage layer where that exists. So let's look at some things. Okay. Oh, trailing spaces. This is a great sample here. So let's use the data cleansing tool. I haven't used this yet in Designer Cloud. Let's see what this looks like. It just works. Okay, cool. Okay, all these to cleanse. Blanks. Yeah, so did it just work? So main. Yeah. So it just works. Okay, perfect. Great. I have nothing to gripe about now. That looks fine. That looks great. Thanks for working. That's awesome. I know. I love that. Okay, good. Thank you for working. All right, so let's say I just want to create like a single address column. Maybe, offset. Let's do a date time. Let's do some datetime functions. We did some datetime functions earlier. Let's do some datetime functions for the heck of it. Oh, we're going to write this back. We're going to clean it. We're going to have a clean version. We're going to write it back. So I'm like, dang, this is going to be cool. All right, that's what we're doing. Yeah, so it's cleaned it. And then let's do, again, not maybe a practical use because you can do all that in Snowflake, but we just want to show that we can, within an hour, get the whole thing going, which actually, man, that's cool. I'm at 51 minutes on this recording and we're connected to data. We're pulling data. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get this in under an hour. We're just going to create an address field. So let's say, cause it doesn't pass through because I haven't finished it. So let's just call this, address. And then it's going to be, Address line. Let's look at the input side here. What is that? Street. Oh, so it's street. Okay, so it's number. Oh, I don't like. That's annoying. Oh yeah, that's why it's annoying. Let's build it. Okay, so street number plus street name. That's nice. I mean, I could see where this sort of data would be nice, but not for our example. CA street type. Oops. Street type. What is this? We're going to call this address. Sorry, it's annoying me that it's giving me this red error at the top, so I'm just going to fix it. Select column, add column, address. All right, so there's that. All right, plus. Oh goodness, what are we doing? Plus city. Plus state. Plus space. Plus zip. Boom. All right, that's okay. So they have toString here. Let's see, toString. Let's wrap that because I'm sure that's a numeric field. And this is oh, I don't know why I didn't recognize that before, but boom, that's all up there at the top. Yeah, so. Boom. So, and there. Oh, because I'm on the. Boom. Okay, so there's the address. And then, so let's just say, for again the purposes of this example, I now want to get rid of street number, street name. I didn't do suite, but I'll leave suite just in case. Oh, it's city. What is this? County. I didn't use county, but I don't need that, so I'll throw it in there. Why not? City. And country. And then we didn't do an offset because I am now trying to get this done in under an hour. But this is good enough. This is a good example. Now let's do output data. Okay, let's see. Create new. Oh, okay, we're just going to create a table. We're going to call it. We're going to put it in the test schema, and then it's going to be AAC output address. We'll just call it that. All right, let's save that. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, well. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, that's annoying that I can't go back to that. Or okay, there might be a way to go back to it. That way wasn't it? Test schema. Yep. Continue here. Okay. On every run. Merge. This would require that I have a key, which I do. I think this is a key. You know what? We're just going to create new. This is going to be interesting because, like, let's say we create new on the first one, and then do I have to come in here and set it back up? You know what? I might, but I think that's fine actually for right now. So we're just going to do a create new. I wonder what the code is. We're actually going to go look at the code. That's what I'm going to do. All right, we're going to save this, and this is going to be Snowflake. We're just going to call this like Snowflake in out. Okay, cool. And then we're going to run it. Now the last one took 2 minutes to do. What was a fairly simple designer use case. If this comes in at the same time, which it might, seeing how fast, like it didn't seem like the latency was an issue between the two machines. You know what's I'm sorry. You know what's crazy? It might be crazy. What's exciting about this? Wow. Whoa. Okay, that was fast. Wow, that was so much faster than what I did yesterday. Why is that? Why was that so much fast? Maybe it could have been a million things, but okay. Ran for 14 seconds. The transform was fast. Did it do it in Snowflake? That's cool. Okay, hold on. DCG A, and then yeah, sure. We're gonna save it all over the place. Okay. What did I click? I click. Oh, dang. So this takes me right. Okay. Okay. This is cool. Oh, whoa. This takes me right to my Snowflake instance, and I can view the job. I was gonna go. Well, it's not taking me to the actual what I would have thought would be the job. So let's go into that real quick. History. Where's my history? Query history. Okay. So let's see here. That's something here. Okay. Select. Let's see, 1046. So I did a series of queries here. Oh, I did a bunch of queries. All right, hold on a second. So these are all the connections. This has failed. Okay. Interesting. So it did a bunch of queries. So I'm just looking at the last like minute or so. So it hit it a bunch of times. It's not a lot, but it did hit it a bunch of times. Again, these are, so just for, if you're not familiar with Snowflake, there are different types of ways queries hit and use the warehouses. They're like this. If it looks like this is something, so it caches queries and query results. So if you run it and then you run again, like let's say, I think it's within a 24-hour period, it just gives you the same results. Or sorry, it's within a 24-hour period and the data hasn't changed. You get the same results, so you don't have to buy more compute. So I think that's what's happening here. Noticing that there's no warehouse. And there's the new one. So this, I don't see where it has like the create statement. That's what I'm trying to find real quick. Oh, here it is. Okay, well, if I looked hard enough. Okay. Oh, interesting. This is the code. Oh, wow. I'm going to dive through this at some point in time. But this looks kind of inefficient. But I don't know if I care. Like, again, that didn't take a ton of... So normally the concern with... it did. It took 6.1 seconds. That's not so bad. But it is pretty inefficient code. But again, I guess I don't really care. Do I care? There are certain code I would care to be inefficient. I don't think I care about that because it's just a table creation statement. I don't know how it would affect the performance of the table. That's a lot of questions. I'm going to save this. Or I'm going to open it up in a worksheet so I can look at it later. Yeah. Oh, gross. Okay. Oh, well, that's not okay. But again, okay. So let's talk about some awesome stuff. I'm at an hour and 16 seconds. So, but we're gonna wrap up with this. Here's what we did. We from scratch. I created the Snowflake instance just before this video, but I had a Snowflake instance. I connected it. The connection took like 30 minutes to figure that out, but once that was clear, we could do that again quite quickly. And then we created some stuff in Snowflake to support that query. We built the pipeline. We brought data in. We did some sample querying, seeing how, I guess the question was how, the question I had last time I was in here was like, how would it work for bigger data sets? And it seems to work just fine with bigger data sets. Because again, it just gives us a sample. And then a million records isn't, I would say probably in this day and age isn't huge. But again, it ran in 14 seconds. And my one the other day ran in, it was 2 records. It was parsing 2 records with 3 columns. Why did that take 2 minutes, and this took 14 seconds. Again, okay, so it could be a lot of things. It's probably, there could have been a lot of people using it at that time. There's a bunch of different reasons, but it only took 14 seconds. And again, if these are ETL jobs, oh man, I wonder how sorry, now I'm thinking about like migration to something like Snowflake. Let's say you're trying to get off of Hadoop. I haven't connected to Hadoop, but you have a bunch of stuff in Hadoop or APIs or whatever, and you're just trying to build a pipeline. So rather than build like some, let's say we're trying to build a low code pipeline instead of doing something in Snowpark with Python, or it's not Snowpark, building their pipeline stuff or using Python to do it in their environment. Again, there are reasons why you would want to do all that. But again, smaller organizations, maybe some folks without a bunch of high tech, like not a bunch of high tech folks, or you have IT teams that just can't support these pipelines for now for whatever reason. This seems like a fairly good option for like a pipeline, for a cloud pipeline, which is cool. Especially, or even like Snowflake isn't incredibly difficult to like write. So let's give probably even a different example. Let's give what is a different example. Some third party drops data into an S3 bucket for you, and you have to grab it and put it in Snowflake. Now that's a fairly common use case. I think there's a lot of documentation on Snowflake about how to like build a stage, build the ingestion method. There is a little bit of coding required for that though. So depending which, learn it or do something like this. This really just adds a step, but it can be done. And that's what's cool. Fairly simply. It took us 45 minutes to set that up. And if you already had your Snowflake connection set up, it could take us 3 minutes to do that. Okay, now I'm just rambling. Thank you all. This one was an hour. I'll probably cut down the final thing. Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Thank you guys. Thank you. Man, I'm so excited. I'm honestly super excited with how easy that was. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Have a great evening.